again. I got super excited here for at the last second here because something's about to happen. But first off, welcome everybody to the award-winning podcast On and Off the Field with Durf and Dylan. It is the 4th of May.
Something like that.
I've been hearing a lot of, people have been posting a lot of weird stuff about today. I pay no attention to it. It's kind of a weird thing going on. I've just been going about my day. I don't know.
I'm more excited for tomorrow. Come on now. Cinco de Mayo.
Oh. I didn't even think about that. See, all this bull crap today, because apparently it's May the Force be with you, so it's Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
All of this has got me distracted that tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. I completely forgot. I guess I'm going to the liquor store. Damn, because I'm out of tequila, I think.
Can't be out of that.
No. And we had tacos tonight. We should have waited till tomorrow.
Me too.
Oh, my God. What else is today, though?
Taco Tuesday.
Well, what else is today? Just in case your wife is listening, you got to know this.
Oh, yeah. It's Teacher Appreciation Day.
Hey, it's Teacher Appreciation Day. Yay. Thank you to all our teachers out there. You're great people.
Yeah.
God bless your souls, because I hate children. So let's get into it. We got to make sure everyone out there is flossing that's currently watching or listening, whatever the case may be. We hit a record mark. I know people are out there flossing because we hit a record mark this week. Last week's episode, we had 42 downloads. 42 in a 7-day span.
That's very impressive.
We're lucky that we ever hit 30 total on some episodes. This one hit 42, so that was really awesome.
Making waves over here.
Yeah, so appreciate that. So let's see if we can go for 2 in a row. Let's make sure everyone out there is flossing, which is follow, like, observe, subscribe, and share. Everything on and off the field related. Segment brought to you by the one and only Stefan Diggs. Durf, what else you got to tell them?
Well, you can make sure to follow, like, observe, and share on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as subscribe to our YouTube and our Twitch channel, which we are currently live on, all by searching at OOTF Podcast. Make sure to click the link in the video description. That will take you to the new merch store and all our social media and podcast platforms that you need for this award-winning show. But also, make sure to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts so we know how we're doing and what you like and hopefully not dislike about this award-winning show.
Well, speaking of which, we have a new review.
Oh, yeah.
We have a new review! And the review is the one and only, comes from the one and only Rapid Dave from Strikeout Beer. And it says, the title of it is obviously Team Durf, exclamation point. It's a 5-star review.
Okay.
It says, these guys are great with amazing guests. NFL heavy, but always a good time. Been following for a while on other platforms and do like the live videos because you get to see all the craziness. They interact with their viewers flawlessly. Speaking of which, the wife was listening, so you're welcome. I saved you a little bit there. Yay! So speaking of Rapid TikTok Dave, he's waiting in the wing.
Oh.
Because we need to celebrate.
Celebrate.
Come on.
What's up, boys?
Hey.
Going on?
You like that review? Was it okay?
That was a great review.
Right from the heart.
Because I let Strikeout Beer review, and now that I see your review on ours, I kind of feel like I half-assed it now.
You got to go all in. You know what I mean? If you're going to write something, you might as well do it. Don't half-ass it. Okay?
Yeah, I kind of went with the review. And I was just I went with the slogan of least favorite podcast. I was just, kept it simple. And I saw yours. Oh, shit. You got to go delete it and make a new one. Make a new account. That's what I'll do. I'll have Durf do the next one. Go find their podcast. And
all right.
There
we go.
Make up for it.
Yeah.
So how you doing? It is apparently Star Wars Day, I guess. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I would normally say may the force be with you or may the fourth be with you, but may the yeet be with you now.
May the yeet be with you and the skirt with you.
Mm-hmm. That was so much fun. That was hilarious. I go back and I listen to that TikTok or whatever over and over. It's like we're just sitting there randomly just saying yeet, like just over and over and over again. And then all of a
whole
sudden,
video is just little yeets in the background. Yeet, yeet, yeet.
yeah, that's what I'm good at. Just in the background, yeet, 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 yeet. But yeah, and then you pulled it together and made it funny. So yeah, now we have a church. So now we're tax deductible, right? Like we're tax exempt.
Oh, is that what it is? Are we? Is that a thing?
Everybody, all the other religions do it. Why can't we?
Oh, that's right. Oh, we got to get this. I got to get the paperwork. I'll work on that. That'll be my project for tomorrow.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it.
The Church of the Yeet. May the Yeet be with you.
And the skirt with you.
It's like that was near the end of the show too. That was a good time last night. We real quick. We still have to do cake. We haven't even done cake of the day yet. This was supposed to be a pie week, but I had a hard time finding this style of pie. So I swapped it. We might do two pies in a row now. So we're doing 2 cakes in a row because we're doing cake of the day.
Okay.
Bang.
Whoa.
I mean.
Oh, dang.
I have the high ground, Anakin. Don't try it.
I hate you.
I like that he gives Anakin's kid the lightsaber he chopped his arm and legs off with.
Oh, yeah. That's
spoiler alert.
Oh, just in case anyone hasn't, they've been living on their rock for 50 or 30 years, however long it's been.
Yeah.
Here's your cake of the day. So the reason I brought you on is because you're Star Wars knowledgeable, I would say. Right? You seem like you know what's going on.
Yeah, the movies. Yeah, the books I haven't really read a whole lot. I've dabbled with Kenobi and a couple others. Alan's gone through most of the comics and whatnot. So yeah, no, I'm just a movie guy. I love it.
See, I don't even know if I want Alan because he'd be just talking circles around me. I wouldn't even know what he's talking about. I feel nuts.
I feel like he's got a lot of fluff, and when he's compared or in a conversation with, say, Nocturnal Rabbit, Mr. Ryan Rumley, Ryan Rumley puts him in his place, and then he kind of, you know what I mean? He calls him out on his bullcrap. I don't know enough about it to stop him immediately, but Rumley does.
See, there's like us, who's like Star Wars, like just the movies and a couple shows, and there's like people that have read a couple comics, which is Alan, and then there's Rumley.
Yeah.
People own comic book stores and whatnot.
Yeah. I had a couple people in my chat today that we were having a full-on conversation, and I remember some of the characters they brought up are not in the movies at all, but I know the name of the characters because of Rumley. So, yeah, luckily I was able to at least kind of, oh, yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, that's all I could really throw at them when they were like throwing these names. I'm like, oh, yeah.
We're getting ready to rumble with Darren Clark. What's going on, Darren? So what's your favorite? I saw you flash up. I don't know if someone asked you if it was your favorite character or not, but you had a little thing, a miniature. What are they called?
Oh, a pop.
Yeah, and I liked him. He looked cool.
Oh, Wrecker's the best.
Wrecker.
Dude, this guy helped me get the glare off of him. There you go.
That's a cool looking dude.
Ah, crap. It's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. There you go. So
that is pretty cool.
So what's he from?
He's actually from the Clone Wars. Actually, they just came out with a new show for him. It's on Disney Plus. Came out today. The bad company or bad. Oh my God, you make me
Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. Look, when I'm on the spot, man, I can't. My brain doesn't work very well.
The Bads.
The Bad Batch. It was brought up during the Clone Wars, series that they had on, and they got their own show. And the first one dropped today. It was over an hour long, but it was great.
Oh wow,
it really was.
So unlike Marvel, where like half-hour episodes, Bad Batch went all out.
Don't get me started. I complained about Marvel for like an hour today. I was like, I got nothing left. I was like, I didn't like WandaVision like at all. Like it was okay, but it was just like watching a different, like a generational sitcom each time. You got I Love Lucy, you got the Brady Bunch, you got, Married with Children, all that kind of stuff. And then what do I call it? Birdman and Lefty. I don't like that show at all.
You didn't like it at all?
No. The show is all about I don't know why. I'm not going into it, but I don't like it. It's got some action though.
It's Star Wars Day.
Yeah, Star Wars Day.
I think Wingman and Lefty had its moments, that's for sure.
Yeah. I didn't even watch the finale or the most recent one either. I don't really care. I think he eventually became now he's Captain America, I guess.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, no, he's Captain America now.
Yeah, he was supposed to be anyways. They're like, all they did was just fill it with the 6 episodes of
Right.
You knew
Until he got to the point where he's Captain America.
Yeah, what's the point of all that?
Go Sharks.
Garbage. Yeah, so Bad Batch is out. It's fantastic. I like it a lot. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm planning on watching that. So we won't go into detail on that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's out there, though.
It picks up right at Order 66.
Oh, okay.
When Order 66 come out, that's pretty much the beginning of it, and it goes from there. So, at the end of episode 3, bleeds into episode 4, or Rogue Company, or Rogue whatever.
Rogue One. Rogue Company.
Rogue Company, right? That's still my head.
That was last night.
All I can hear is the run, the doom, 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 doom,
run. So what's your favorite Star Wars movie? We'll go around the table on this one, too. What's everyone's favorite Star Wars movie? Rapid Dave.
I would say it's got to be A New Hope. I mean, that's my original, the one I fell in love with the whole Star Wars, universe with. And I'll go back to that one, even though now I don't like the main character that much because once you realize that he's kind of a whiny brat. But I like it. But I'm actually watching the prequels right now. I don't mind the prequels either. I don't like the last 3 movies. Rogue One is good, and Solo's not bad as long as you take out the first 15 minutes. But yeah, give me A New Hope.
Fred?
Very nice. I mean, I know I'm partial to the classics. I like 4, 5, 6. 4 is probably, the one that I've seen the most. I actually did just go through 1 through 9, do it in timeline order where you put Solo and then Rogue One in between 3 and 4. Didn't mind 1. I know that's like the most beat up movie of them all. The storyline I actually didn't mind, but really I like Solo. Solo was really interesting. It really gave me a different perspective for Chewbacca and Han Solo to really know the background. It really helps it bring it into character for 4, 5, and 6, and then carrying on through the last 3. Last 3 I thought were garbage.
Hot, filthy trash.
My wife loves them, and I'm like, you have no taste.
At no point in any of those movies did I go, wow, I'm watching a good movie. Almost never.
I was so excited for, 8 or 7? I was so excited for 7 because it'd been so long.
And we're finally getting a new Star Wars movie.
And then you realize
the trilogies here.
It's episode 4 again. It's like, God damn it. Every time they keep just jerking us around. They're going to blow up another, planet. Oh, great.
Yep. That's all it ever is. They're all planet blowing ups. And I know this is your favorite thing, is just all these new, it's just the Skywalkers. They sit down, they grab a lightsaber with their masters for 15 minutes, and they're Jedi masters. They're ready to go. They're going to go kill everyone now. They're great. They're going to go save the universe after 15 minutes of training.
Luke is not a Jedi master. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's not. It's horse crap. And episode, what was it, 6 or whatever, The Return of the Jedi. I actually used to like that movie. I think a long time ago, until I realized how bad it was. I was like, oh God. Empire Strikes Back's good though. Everybody, some people put that in front of A New Hope. People love, and speaking of which, that's what tomorrow was, Revenge of the Sith. May the 6th. So
tomorrow's the 5th.
5th. There you go. 5th.
So it's Revenge of the 5th. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's what it is. Because it's the 4th and the 5th, even though it's Cinco de Mayo, but tomorrow's Star Wars Day as well. But it's for the 6th.
Yeah, no. Step off of Cinco de Mayo. There's no Star Wars. You had your day. Go calm down and.
You had your time. Now shut up. My time doesn't start until Fortnite puts a damn in there for me. Right. I'm losing my mind every 5 minutes.
Where's my lightsaber pickaxe? Return of the Karen is the best Star Wars ever, according to Ryan Francis.
Dude, when they had those lightsabers in there, oh my God, I had it was a blast. It really was.
Was it a weapon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. And you had all the different kinds and different colors and stuff.
Well, maybe because they're doing Star Wars Week. Maybe they'll come out tomorrow with it. Yeah, we already said 799. I honestly really I think Rogue One is honestly my favorite. Revenge of the Sith is a good one. I am a fan of Phantom Menace. I'll be the guy that'll just stand here and say I like it and just say I don't care about your opinion. I like Phantom Menace. I don't know why. I just do. But something about Rogue One, just being that middle piece that connects everything, and then the way it ends with Vader. I mean, like that whole ending series of, oh my God, it was so good.
Absolutely.
Love that movie.
But yeah, I watched Phantom. I just finished it right now. The only problem I think a lot of people had with it was Jar Jar Binks. Just look past it. Even though I all had a little bit more. I want Darth Maul to have a little bit more in that movie. I mean, he's an amazing character and he's awesome. Like every time he shows up, like just hell breaks loose.
Yeah. Good. I think a lot. Yeah, Jar Jar Binks is a big issue, and I think a lot of people's problem is just like, since it was supposed to be the first one, it leads everything off chronologically. People had an issue with like how it's not tied correctly to anything. It's just kind of like, it seems like almost a standalone movie. It's just kind of there. Mm-hmm. And then we jump ahead like how many years into the second one. So like, it just seems people just don't think it was a good story building kind of movie. That's what I hear people complain about the most.
They had a bunch of these dorks like threatening the guy that played or voiced Jar Jar Binks. He was going to jump off like the London Bridge at one point or some crap. Yeah, he was like, I'm done. I'm over it. They had bullied him so bad, and he was like seriously going to commit suicide over these jerks. I was like, dude, what a waste of time. It is a freaking movie. Seriously. Mm-hmm. And you got this poor fellow who just decided to voice Jar Jar Binks. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll take the role. Man.
Big mistake.
I mean,
poor guy.
He's famous for that.
Yeah. Oh, he's famous, but
he had to take so much mental, like just trauma and bullying online. It was crazy.
What's up, Al Stud? Y'all keep Jar Jar out of your horror schmaltz. I'm not a fan of Jar Jar. I'm not going to sit here and be like he was my favorite character, but like you just said, like I just move on. There's bad characters in any movie ever, like all the time. Like Rey is terrible, Kylo's terrible, and they're the main characters. They're harder to move on from.
The reason you might like Phantom Menace a little bit more is because probably that's your first one you got to see in the theaters. That was the very first one I saw in the theaters. And so by the time it came out, I was super jacked. I think I was like 19 years old. I was like, holy hell, I've never seen one in the movie theaters before. And I got to go. I was like, dude, they jammed 300 people in there. It was one of the biggest damn theaters ever.
Yeah, I don't remember. It might have been my first one. I was probably too young to remember anyways, if that is a fact. But
1999, man.
Yeah, Bad Batch is on my watch list. Very excited for Bad Batch. See what that's all about. Because I never watched any of the cartoon, like the cartoony ones. I never watched like the cartoon Clone Wars, which people tell me is like it's totally badass. Like you have to watch it. And it gives Anakin like a whole new character that's much better than the Anakin that's in the movies.
Yeah, well, the Clone Wars that you see in the movie, it's only one movie, right? It's Attack of the Clones, and then of course, whenever Order 66 come out, it's just like, oh well, they all just kind of fall down and die. They're like apparently they can't defend themselves. But this thing brings you all the way through the war, and then the end of the war, and you see some Ahsoka's do it most of it, because he's Anakin's Padawan, and she's like awesome. So
she's a badass.
I mean, if anything, go back and watch maybe the last season. I think there's 12 episodes or something like that. There's like 4 in the middle that kind of suck, and it's got like these 2 sisters that come in there for no reason at all. But dude, Ahsoka's amazing. And then, obviously you see the transformation of Vader, but yeah, they have, I mean, it's really good. It's worth it. And by the time you're done watching it, you're not like, oh my God, I just watched SpongeBob SquarePants for 8 hours. It's like, oh my God, this is like you know what I'm saying? It was a real good, very well done animated,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's going to be on my list. Bad Batch. There's just a lot of Star Wars in my future, I think, until at least the next Marvel thing hits, which isn't for a while. So I got time.
There you go.
I got time. So we're going to kick you off.
Sounds good.
But let's sign off with your favorite helmet.
I don't know. I don't have a favorite one. I was looking at
the closest one then. Look at that pretty thing.
Oh, very nice.
I did the unboxing that one day live on the stream.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
All right, it's the favorite / closest.
Closest.
All right, enjoy the rest of your Star Wars day. This is it. This day. That's it. Enjoy it because it's over. This is it.
We'll talk tomorrow. Maybe I'll put on and drink tequila, and we'll just call it. I'll throw a sombrero on top too.
Ooh, okay. All right. So we can, or maybe we can share. We'll figure it out.
There you
go. All right. See you later. Rabbit Dave, everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't actually mean to play that audio. That was the wrong one. That's fine. It still worked. Oh, else I just felt like choosing violence towards any criticism against Star Wars today. Is today the wrong day to talk bad about Star Wars? I feel like this is the day to get all your grievances out and the positive things. Like today's the day that you get it all out there. Mm-hmm. This is the day to talk about Star Wars, whether you like it or not. That's my opinion. Whether it's a criticism or not. I don't know.
That is, yeah. I mean, I've seen both sides today on social media, so yeah. I'm
fine with either one. And then we had Dylan in the house. The wrong spelled Dylan. What's going on? Yay. So we got a couple of NFL things to talk about now that the Star Wars thing is over with. My Star Wars is officially over now. I'm Star Wars'd out for another year. I'll just wait until next year to start talking about Star Wars. I guess I got Bad Batch coming now, so I guess I can start getting back into it. The first real piece of NFL news here that's not draft related, because we're going to have a guest here in a little while from the podcast Draft Vice to help us go over the draft, because he's a little more better of an expert than I am. I'm really going to let you two guys really go at it. Because my draft opinions suck. Because the draft is just never a big deal for me, and everyone probably knows that by now. So, all 4 teams in the NFC West. I did not know this was a thing, but all 4 teams in the NFC West are going to be carrying an additional international player for the 2021 season on their practice squads as part of the International Player Pathway Program. This is hilarious that we just talked about this last week. They're like, why isn't there some kind of G League or Euro League for the NFL like there is in the NBA?
Right.
Well, apparently there's something that I didn't know existed. And here we are.
Yeah.
These players will be on the practice squad for all of training camp and through the entire season, but they will not take up an actual slot on those practice squads, and they cannot be called up to the active roster. They're literally just there to learn about football. They're just here. Yeah. They're taking up space. And so the Seahawks got linebacker Aaron Donkor. They're German names or something. I don't know.
Well, that one's German, yeah.
We got stats on him, apparently. He's played 12 games over 2 seasons. He accumulated 32 tackles, 12.5 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 2 fumble recoveries and 1 forced fumble. Seahawks might actually want him on the active roster. 12.5 sacks over 12 games. Seahawks should definitely use that. Holy shit!
Yeah, I think he's just ineligible this year. So it's I think he's got a good chance of making an impact for the Seahawks, but when he's eligible to actually be on the active roster.
Yeah, I'd like to see that name again when he's eligible. I'm curious. I'm going to keep an eye on him in training camp, see what kind of thing. I'm sure there'll be plenty of tape on him. They'll throw that stuff at us because it's a special player. I'm sure I'll see plenty of it.
Right.
The 49ers get Alfredo Gutierrez, offensive lineman from Mexico. The Rams get Max Percher, offensive lineman from Italy. And the Cardinals get Bernhard Sejkovic. Sure. Tight end from Austria. Yep. That one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I read a little bit of background on these guys. The linebacker that the Seahawks got, the Seahawks, are going to get for their extra spot. He actually played in the German Football League, which is, that was a football league that we talked about last week with our guest. And how it's so popular, the GFL over there is just as popular as the NFL is in the States. And, I think it's kind of cool to see that, see that next step for these players. So as I saying for the Seahawks, I'm sure we'll hear something about that during training camp, like you said. Then Gutierrez and Percher, they've kind of had back and forth, careers so far. Definitely, I think these are definitely players that are taking on that learning learning opportunity. I want to say it was Percher that I read about, that he legitimately tried out for the national team in Italy, but tried out at like tight end, defensive lineman, and offensive lineman, and then he actually found his niche to go to the offensive lineman. So I think he's one of those. I think he could turn into one of those like flex players that, you know, he has the ability to do multiple things, which I think will help him in his one position.
Yeah, that helps all kinds of players, especially like undrafted rookies coming out of college. Just being able to, you know, be on special teams, or if you're a corner that can become a wide receiver, stuff like that. Being a versatile, just being athletic can go a long way in trying to start your career. So very cool. It's funny that we just talked about this stuff last week. And so I find that hilarious that we just talked about international programs and all these different like German NFL league, all this stuff just a week ago. And then this news hits. So I think that's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look into it more. Like this actual program, I'm going to look into more.
So there was another player that actually Washington signed a few weeks ago, the tight end from Chile.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He was a candidate for the program, but these four got it, but Washington still signed him.
Interesting.
So I think he has the upper hand on getting the opportunity to play and be on the active roster, but these guys are at least secured for this year, and then going forward.
I forgot about that guy. This is what I wanted to happen. This is what we were talking about last week. I wanted the NFL to start growing. I'm not saying I want games in London. I'm not saying I want games in China.
Right.
You know, I'm just saying I want to see its reach go past the States so more players from all over the world can get in here. And I just think these opportunities are really cool.
Right.
Speaking of people that might be from Mexico, just based off of heritage maybe, former Steelers offensive tackle Alejandro Velu has signed with the Baltimore Ravens on a 2-year, $14 million deal with $8 million guaranteed. He's a swing tackle, so he can play left tackle until Ronnie Stanley gets healthy, and then he can shift back over to right tackle. But we all know Ronnie probably is never going to be healthy again in his entire life. That guy just seems like he's like at least half a year every year. That dude is just not playing.
Which is why the Orlando Brown trade happened, because there's that chance, and Orlando Brown wanted to play left tackle. So this, gives them that versatile. This gives the Ravens a versatile tackle that they want to fill a spot as needed.
And did they sign the one from the Titans, or no? Did he just come in for a visit? I know that was back when they just traded Orlando Brown. They brought in a tackle from the Titans. I don't remember his name though. I don't know if they signed him. He might have just went in there for a visit.
Yeah, I'm not remembering that one. A
whole bunch of people are popping up in here. Nobody grabbed Izzy Berger. I don't know who that is.
Isabel Berger from last week.
Oh, He's like, who the hell's Izzy? I'm like, oh my God. Unfortunately, no. She's on her way to San Diego though. Hopefully soon. She's starting her season up, I think. Wasn't she just talking about how they're starting to play coming up here soon? Mm-hmm. And then after that season, she'll work her way over to San Diego, maybe. Very exciting times.
Yeah.
Go back to Star Wars, go away. What's up, TJ? We actually, it's funny. We just got thrown in the private chat. Dennis Kelly of the Titans. Dennis Kelly, just a visit, though. Did not get signed.
Very nice.
Maybe he can make his way over to Seattle. And last but not least here, I had to throw this in here because this is one of those things where I just have to put it in here because I just want to talk about it. I need to get this off my chest.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Terry Bradshaw just went full blown back in my day. And it was just, he completely missed the point of this entire Aaron Rodgers situation. Terry Bradshaw just went off on a tangent, and everyone looked at him like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not the problem, right? I saved some pictures here, a couple of snapshots of what he said. There's a lot here, so I'm not going to say all of it. But basically, as I skim it, I'm going to try and say the things I want to say. He called Aaron Rodgers weak for the way he's been handling things with the franchise. With him being that upset shows me how weak he is. Who the hell cares who you draft? I mean, he's a 3-time MVP in the league. And he's worried about this guy they drafted last year at number 1, which he wasn't drafted at number 1. So that's and for him to be upset, my God, I don't understand that. Pittsburgh drafted Mark Malone number 1, Cliff Stout in the 3rd or 4th round, which when Terry Bradshaw was still with the Steelers and starting, they drafted those 2 guys. And he said they were coming after me at all angles, but I embraced it. I didn't let it bother me, blah, blah, blah. So I don't understand why he's upset at Green Bay. And if he wants to fire the general manager, he'll come back. You kidding me? Blah, blah, blah. And he says, here's what I'd do. I wouldn't budge. Let them gripe. Let them cry. Retire. You're 38. Go ahead and retire. See you later. I mean, I'm really strong about stuff like that. And it just makes them look weak. Okay, Terry. So I just want to let you know, you just missed. Here's the target, and you're just over here somewhere. All right, it doesn't matter. He's not mad at they drafted Jordan Love. You know, if they're looking to get a guy behind him, if they're looking towards the future down the road, however many years, that's not the point. That there's a quarterback. So he's not afraid of Jordan Love. Like you said, you're a 3-time MVP. He's not scared Jordan Love's taking his job. All right. He's not worried about playing so bad that a rookie takes his job. He's not worried about that. He's upset that they didn't tell him they were drafting a quarterback. And in the past 16 years that he's played there, they've never drafted in the 1st round a weapon for Aaron Rodgers or even a successful defensive player at that matter. Their defense sucks. He's just mad at this front office and the GM and this team for not helping build a Super Bowl winning team. They've won 1 Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, which is asinine. Terry Bradshaw's entire argument was like, "Why are you weak? You're acting weak because you're worried about this quarterback that's behind you." That's not the point. He's just sick of having to carry this garbage team on his back and has to play at an MVP level to go 13-3 and be bounced out of round 1 or 2 of the playoffs every year. And that's a fair argument.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe it's a little bit prima donna. He's taking it a little bit too far, Like I get it. I don't like Aaron Rodgers' attitude either. But Terry Bradshaw went to a different level that he should not have gone to. Because now you made yourself look like an idiot and an ass. So, congratulations, Terry. You're a grumpy old man. That's what I took away from it. Ooh. Grumpy old man who's like, arr, arr. Back in my day, they drafted 2 quarterbacks, but guess what I did? I just kept on playing. Guess what? Aaron Rodgers is still playing. Well, he played for a year with Jordan Love at least. Played 1 year. And he won MVP. He's not scared of Jordan Love.
Right. It's the support he doesn't have with the rest of the team.
Just infuriating. Because he's so passionate about this. You can tell, like, through all, everything he said, he's so passionate about what he's saying, but he never stopped to think that what he's passionate about is the wrong argument. If that makes sense, He's just mad about something that doesn't exist. Where have I heard that before? Oh, wait a minute, I don't want to get political. Never mind. Do you have any takes from Terry? I know this stuff's been floating around. Aaron Rodgers is not happy, obviously. I don't know if we talked about this last week at all. So we're kind of just like continuing the saga of Aaron. Oh, because this came out on draft day, so we didn't really talk about it last week.
Oh, yep. Yeah, this was draft. Well, he said, I think he was unhappy before, but it came out, I think, draft day. I don't know if it was that he said he's not coming back to the team. Oh, that was the big thing that Aaron Rodgers has told insiders in the organization, told his teammates, like, he's not returning to the Packers. Then the whole thing starts with no Packers quarterback has played 17 seasons on the team. Like Brett Favre, Bart Starr, and Aaron Rodgers are all at 16 seasons. So will Aaron play that 17th season? I don't know. I'm going to guess no, because he's so, frustrated with the team, which, I would be too. Like, they drafted one receiver this draft.
Did they even?
Yeah,
I thought I saw their draft board. Did they take a wide receiver?
Amari Rodgers, I think, out of Clemson.
I thought he was a running back.
No, receiver.
Oh, okay.
So another A Rodgers.
Oh yeah, right there in the third round, Amari Rodgers, good old A-Rod.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
So
yeah, one wide receiver this entire draft, and then you got an offensive lineman, 2 offensive linemen, 3 offensive linemen, and then a running back in the 7th round, 2 corners, defensive tackle. None of this is supposed to make Aaron Rodgers happy.
No,
and I think at this point it's on purpose almost.
Right.
Like,
I completely agree.
And I think the biggest FU of all, and where I think I haven't decided if Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing for the Packers next year. And once I'm going to get to the comments here in a second, because I know Josh is in here and he's a Packers fan. Get his opinion on it real quick. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have a no trade clause in his contract. He doesn't get the pick where he gets traded to. It's either so the Packers can just be like, "Hey, Aaron, guess what? You're going to freaking, I don't know, name any team that's not on his I want to go to that team list. I don't know, any random team."
Well, I thought he had a no trade clause in his contract.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, very good.
So if they traded him, the team can pick wherever he goes. Whoever's the highest bidder, he'll just go wherever, and he has no say in it. Which I would bet if it's not a team that he wanted to go to, which I don't know why the Packers would want to cater to him acting like this.
Put him on the Broncos.
Well, the Broncos he wants to go to, he'd be happy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's one of his.
Do the Peyton Manning thing over again?
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I think someone brought that up on Dan Patrick's show. That would be funny though. Go there and be Peyton Manning 2.0. They can't draft a quarterback over there, but damn it, they can trade for one. But if they trade him to a team he doesn't want to go to, he'll end up retired. So, do I think he plays for the Packers this season? I haven't decided, because we've seen this story kind of. It's a story that's been going on for like 3 years. It just seems like it's taken like a bigger leap this time. So I'm kind of waiting for it to cool down to see if it does cool down, because it's just a media hype right now. It's like it's all that's in your face. It seems like it's so everything's so intense right now. That's how it was with Russell Wilson. Everything's so intense right now. Like, oh my God, Russell Wilson's going to be traded. He has 5 teams he wants to go to. Everyone's on the top, and then nothing happens.
Right.
And then everyone's happy, and we're just going to go on with our day. Like that's what I'm waiting for.
Right.
Like Aaron Rodgers is just going to be like, yeah, I said some things, but let's go win a Super Bowl. Like, that's what I'm waiting for. I feel like that's coming. So maybe it doesn't. Maybe he's just taking it too far this time. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens.
I mean, they added the whole like Jake Kumaro comment thing in the last day or so. That was a whole thing. Like, he praises the receiver, then the Green Bay releases him the next day.
Man, I really like this guy. Underrated. He's gone.
He gone.
He gone.
He played for the Bills actually. Had touchdown against the Broncos, and
he had like 3 catches.
Well, yeah, but he's bounced around the league a little bit. I think he's back on the Bills right now for the end of the season, end of the season. But yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah,
he started on the Patriots practice squad. That's where he started his career. Let's get to these comments real quick, because I kind of ignored them. The trade of Anakin Skywalker from the light to the dark side, great value, although he had a troubled background. Very detailed. I like that. I'll miss Rodgers, but peace out, says Josh. Dennis Kelly landed Philly. Dorial Green Beckham will go down as probably the most significant trade ever. Like Dennis Kelly landed in Philly because of Green Beckham, or Dennis Kelly landed Philly, Dorial Green Beckham. I'm missing that one. I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rodgers shrunk in the playoffs at times, but has been on the defensive. Yeah, he's had his He has moments at his times, but what are you going to do with the team that he's been given a lot of these times? Like, the defense sucks. He has barely anyone to throw the ball to. Rodgers should prematurely evacuate the premise. Just do everyone a favor. Just walk away. To be fair, Green Bay never needed to draft a wide receiver in the first round most of his career. That's because he's very good, and he makes seventh rounders or undrafteds look like first rounders. Just imagine if he had first rounders. This is the point. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine if he had the talent, a guy who can get separated and he can throw these people open like crazy. Like, imagine if he had someone like an Odell or someone like a D-Hop, anyone that's been drafted in the first round, like these crazy good receivers. Like, imagine if he had someone of that talent to throw to. It would be unstoppable.
Right.
Just imagine. Well, we can't imagine because it's never happened. I want to see Aaron Rodgers in a Raiders uniform. Oh, boy. I'll take Carr over Love. Well, we haven't seen Jordan Love yet, so it's hard to evaluate that. Damn it, Aaron. He'll play with Green Bay, be hosting Jeopardy full-time this season, and Kumaro sucked with us. Very sure he sucks everywhere. No good wide receivers in the late round of the first round. You could at least try. You could at least try, just to make him happy.
Yeah, there was a whole story too about, Green Bay saying last year that they wanted to move up for a receiver. They wanted Justin Jefferson, but then the Vikings, drafted him, so they still moved up. And then they were like, "Oh, the receiver we didn't want, even though there's other receivers available, take Jordan Love."
How true is that? In the midst of everything going on with Aaron
Rodgers, it sounds like a Packers issue.
Like, we've never heard this story before,
right?
And now he's threatening to leave and like just retire, never play for the franchise again. They're like, "Oh, by the way, instead of drafting Jordan Love, we were trying to get Justin Jefferson." Really? Like, it's just like we've never heard anyone say that until like yesterday or whenever it came out. So I'm skeptical. Okay. In the private chat, we're being owned once again by our coming up guest here. He says Philly traded Dennis Kelly for the guy, the wide receiver. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know Dennis Kelly was even an Eagle. So it's good to know. That's why I was confused by it. I didn't even know he was ever an Eagle.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the draft stuff because we've already waited long enough. He's been sitting there waiting for us. I told him 6:30, and now he's probably thinking like, "God damn it, these people." So let's move on with our lives here. Welcome in.
What's up? How's it going?
Is it Wojo?
Wojo, yes. Wojo, Walter, Wojo, whichever one you want to call me. Just don't call me Wally, right? Only Christopher Walken can do that.
Okay. So we're going to Walter, Wojo, whatever the case would be. You're from Draft Vice.
Yes. The brilliant show. It's mainly hosted by me, but then also a bunch of stand-up comedians pop on. We do funny, weird shit about football. And then, again, we did actually a live show the night of the draft up in Nanuet, New York. To go ahead and bring like part of the draft to people in New York that don't live in New York City, or just like we went to the heart of New York, Nanuet, which everybody's been to. Everybody's heard of it, Nanuet. But yeah, thanks for having me on, you guys. This is great. I know you guys want to talk about the draft, and I already been talking to you guys about Dennis Kelly in the chat over here. I'm like, oh, Dennis Kelly, yeah, super secret, like sleeper tackle, dude. By the way, Juwan James just tore his Achilles working out outside of camp. I don't know if you guys talked about that yet.
Nope.
No, I did see that though.
Yeah, the Broncos right tackle who has played like I think 50 snaps for them. So, again, another spot where he can go where it's like, hey, guess what? Like, we need a right tackle now. But they got Mike Munchak there, so they'll be good. They'll figure out their whole right tackle situation.
So I'm assuming Dennis Kelly's a free agent then. He's just kind of floating around.
Yeah, well, Titans released him. So the Titans did that weird thing where they were like, we're getting rid of half of our team, right? They got rid of Malcolm Butler, Adoree Jackson, Dennis Kelly, Isaiah Wilson, who busted out of the first round for them. So we're like, well, you know what? Let's go. Maybe this year we'll swap it. We'll go corner first round and then risky tackle in the second. And then they signed Kendall Lamb in free agency, former Brown, I think Lamb was also on the Texans at one point, but he's actually been a solid backup swing tackle I don't know if you really want him being your true starter, which, again, that's why I think people speculated, like, what were the Titans going to do? Were they going to take a tackle? Because Isaiah Wilson was, I think they traded him to Miami for a 7th, and then Miami's like, oh my God, this guy makes us look like, this guy makes all of us look sane. We're in Miami. He can't handle it here. Get him out the room right now. So now Miami just decides to draft Liam Eichenberg in the 2nd round. They're like, this guy's way safer. He's from Notre Dame. He's got 32-inch arms, so we probably shouldn't play him at tackle, but we'll play him at tackle anyway because we are the Miami Dolphins and we know better. Arm length does not mean anything to the Dolphins.
We do our own thing here.
Right? No, but not for nothing. Don't mind that. I like that. I like when teams say, you know what, screw the rules. We're going to go different from the rules and the typical mentality. Miami's been doing that the last couple of years. I mean, they took Jalen Phillips at 18 overall this year. I thought that was risky, but at the same time, you had a guy who's a potential top 10 talent in the draft, pass rusher out of Miami, and again had concussion issues. That was the risk. He had 3 concussions, one of them because of an accident. But the other 2 were, again, like when you have 3 concussions, that's an injury risk waiting to happen. So Miami took a lot of risks. If you notice, they didn't care much about injury risks. They took Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, all the Jalens. So they were very big on, hey, we'll go ahead and take injury risk. We just don't want guys who are crazy in Miami because like that's not going to end well. This guy got crazy in Nashville. Now we're bringing to Miami. Send him over the Raiders. They'll deal with him down in Vegas.
That's that's the trifecta right there. Then that's not good.
It's just progressively getting worse. It's like, no, dude, you got to go.
Just look at all the teams that Richie Incognito went to, and look at where he's at these days.
The Raiders. Oh, it looks like we're connecting dots now. There we go.
Yeah, see, we're connecting the dots here.
Well, you see, but you see, Wilson wasn't bullying people, and he wasn't just going ahead and calling people some words that you probably shouldn't call people. He was just like getting drunk and jumping out of windows. Which is still not a good thing. Like,
I feel like the initial conversation with Isaiah Wilson and the Dolphins went something similar to he gets traded, walks in the door, shakes some hands, and he's like, all right, bring me to your social media department right now, because if those people don't have me slated to wish me a happy birthday on social media account, I'm out of here.
That'd be great.
That had to be part of his contract, I'm sure.
It's like, dude, we need you to get into AA. It's like, fuck that shit. It's like, dude, you have a multi-million-dollar contract. No, I don't want it. I don't want to be able to. I don't want to go to AA. I think that was like the basis of why they got rid of him. Was like he didn't want to do any kind of like 5-step, 2-step, even like a 1-step program. So we were kind of like 7th rounder. We'll say screw it. You're out the door. We don't want you no more. So and then they took Liam Eichenberg, who I like actually a lot. But yeah, who? By the way, do you guys have particular teams that you guys follow, or is it like or you guys just follow full football? By the way, love the Star Wars first half of the show. Big Star Wars fan from when I was a child, and still watch it now to this day. By the way,
plans on watching the Bad Batch?
Yes and no. You know what? Now that Disney, it's probably part of Disney Plus's stuff, I probably will. I watched Rebels a lot over COVIDcation, if you will. So I got to watch that and got to really enjoy that. I couldn't get into Clone Wars as much, and I think that's why maybe Bad Batch I might have an issue getting into because it's
a little hesitant there. Same style.
It's not even the style; it's that time frame. It's like I'm done with that time frame. I don't need to see. I don't want to go back and revisit the Clone Wars again. Don't get me wrong; it's great, but like I also have bad memories of the Clone Wars. We had the prequel trilogy. And like as much as like it's not the worst thing in the world, I think people over attack it. It's also like, I don't need to revisit it. I don't need to keep on going back to the timeline and revisiting it. I know Clone Wars, like I've seen episodes of it. It's really good. But considering I just know where it goes and I know where those characters go eventually, like I like the introduction of Ahsoka in it. And that was great. And she was great in Rebels, but I just can't get into the whole, I'm investing myself in a storyline where I know where it's going for the most part. Did like a lot of the episodes of like the side characters, other Jedi and stuff like that. So was I here to talk about the draft? I'm sorry.
Wait, what are we talking about? Wait a minute.
Football.
Getting dizzy. No. By the way, was a Bills fan, so I kind of enjoyed the Bills draft. I especially loved their first round pick. He's the guy. I don't think we had him slated to go to the Bills, or maybe you did, because Dirk's got his first round mock draft that we can throw up at some point too.
See, I Gregory Rousseau. I also liked Carlos Basham. Like the back-to-back edge rushers was, I think, a really cool move. They've been looking for a guy outside of Jerry Hughes to rush the passer. They have Addison there, but Addison's getting older. He really has only kind of been more of a rotational guy. I think Carlos Basham was underrated, and I think Rousseau came into the season almost like a top 10, 15 pick. And then I think because of the process, because like there was such a deep edge rusher class this year, and there was all different styles and fits. And again, he did not play for the year, and he played previously like 245, right? And he was beating up, like they would line him up. His best rushes came on the inside, kind of like a Calais Campbell sort of role. Line him up at the zero tech over the center, line him up over some guards, just bully some guys who are going to be working for the UPS next year. You know, just go ahead and bully these like bad guards and centers. And then, you know, opts out, he bulks up, gets up to like 267. And we never saw him play that. And then like his pro day was like, okay, like it wasn't the best pro day. So I think teams were a little worried about that. They're like, you know, especially after not having this extremely great pro day, you're kind of worried, like, how is this guy going to translate? Is he going to be great? Is he going to be this huge athlete? So, but I like him for the Bills because again, they can put him as part of a rotation, get him bulked up even maybe more. He's got a big frame, so they could just stack him up. You know, you're talking about a guy who has like 84.5-inch arm span. So this guy could just give everybody hugs at the same time. I think he does have the arc that could potentially be like a Calais Campbell, a guy who's going to be like a little bit of an edge guy, a little bit of like a D tackle. And then Carlos Basham was weirdly, again, a couple years older. I think the reason why Carlos Basham wasn't a higher pick was because he's 24 and a little bit of a down year this year. But still, like, again, Boogie Basham is so, you know, the athleticism that he has for 279, 280, to be able to move the way he does. Again, if he wasn't that old, I think he would have went a lot earlier. So now they get two guys that are actually kind of similar mold and style, length, size guys. To go in there. And like I said, they've been looking for guys outside of Jerry Hughes to rush the passer for a while. I think it's a big part of McDermott's defense is wanting to play a lot of zone and be able to rush four guys. I don't think they really want to blitz. You know, I don't think it's ever been a big thing for McDermott. So I like those first two picks right off the bat. I think that was great. And then they went ahead and took the very athletic tackle. I have the name here somewhere. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Spencer Brown.
Spencer Brown out of Northern Iowa tested out the roof. Like, I mean, as far as guys, as far as athletes go, he's like probably the most athletic tackle that like has ever tested. He's tied like 99th percentile. So you're getting him in the room. Again, just those three picks. If you just stopped it right there, I like those picks for them. I did think guard was a bigger need for them. I never thought running back was the need. I thought guard and offensive line, maybe corner they could have addressed a little bit sooner. But again, you have guys out there like Steven Nelson. I know Hayward just signed with the Raiders to join up with Gus Bradley to make their own Marvel Avengers movie up in Las Vegas. So again, I dig the Buffalo Bills draft. I think it was a very good one. I like McDermott as a coach. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. Highly underrated. And then you look at what Brandon Beane's done there, been very aggressive on getting talent in the room. I just dig what the Bills have been doing over the years. Dable is going to get a head coaching job somewhere, and he's going to take Trubisky with him, and Trubisky's going to fail there too. But at least they have Trubisky now as a backup.
Is that the plan? Is that what's going to happen? We calling it?
So. Yeah, I think he's going to take Trubisky wherever he goes. He's now his little buddy. They're going to be like he's going to get a job somewhere next year, and he's going to be like, and Trubisky's actually literally going to be side karting with him. It's like he's going to be driving cross country, and
he's
like
in a nice little side mobile as they motorcycle down the road. He's just sitting over there in a side cart, like he's let's go, coach.
They're going to have you driving the old Yamaha, and it's going to be like, oh, wow, this is great. It's like he's got like a nice little teddy bear. It's like, I'm not used to riding like this. So, and the Bears just to remind him of the team he was originally drafted by, Justin Fields, which, by the way, that was sick. That was, I think, like all of a sudden the Bears made me think like, oh, my God, the Bears know what they're doing now? Since when?
Someone flipped a switch over there in Chicago. That was crazy.
Who hijacked Ryan Pace? And who took over this draft from? Because it's not Ryan Pace, I can tell you that. Like, he doesn't do smart things, at least not in the first couple of rounds. He just likes trading away the picks.
I feel like somewhere in the next 10 years, we're gonna get like the football version of like Moneyball or something. Something weird. It's gonna be like the Bears draft day, and there's gonna be this move. Something's gonna come out where Ryan Pace got locked out of the building somehow. And all right, well, this kid over in the corner is going to have to do the draft for us, and he just slays it. I feel like we're going to get a movie about that. I can see it coming next 10 years.
Well, that was essentially what the Browns tried doing and what the Miami Dolphins have been doing, where they're just accumulating picks, and that really is part of their game plan. I actually think if you look back at the Browns when they had Hugh Jackson, that was kind of the comedy situation right there. Now he's already back to talking on TV, and now I think he actually has a coaching job somewhere in college. God help those children. But I think he, maybe a little bit underrated as far as a schematic guy. I think he could actually scheme stuff up very well. He just didn't know how to coach or do anything as far as being a head coach goes. I think he could maybe be a better assistant at a college or even high school level.
This time maybe is fast.
Yeah, I think it's beyond that. I think now, and I like the coach that the Browns have now, Stefanski. I think they had a good draft too. There's very few teams I really look at and go, "Oh my God, they just blew up their draft. They did a horrible job." Before I say which team, though, what's your team, sir?
Oh, boy. All 3 picks, the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, I didn't mind their picks.
I liked their picks. I really liked them.
There
just wasn't a lot of them.
So what? I did watch the conference call because that's what I do for all my reviews for all the – I watch all the coach and GM interviews. And I actually I listened. They tried trading down from their second round pick. They had a guy on the clock. They had a team that was ready to try down with them. I think it was one of the teams trying to get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah as he fell in the second round. And then I think it was when the Browns jumped up, took JOK at 2. They had a team that was willing to trade up. They couldn't close the deal. And then they just took Dwayne Eskridge, who I like. And by the way, I think the LA Rams liked. So I think they sniped him from the LA Rams.
He was definitely a Rams kind of player, but I think that's why they grabbed him, is because they got Shane Walden over there now.
So. Well, also, yeah, again, that was a big part of it. They even said, I think in their interview, is like, hey, we're going to be running a lot more jet sweeps like what the Rams did last year. We're doing a lot of similar things to what the Rams did. So that's why those Nuggets, they slip things in there accidentally sometimes, where they're like, oh shit, now I just gave away my secrets. Every once in a while. Very hard to get it from PD Sunshine, but from the GM and Schneider, and I think this time around, I kind of did get a little bit of a gleam of what they were talking about, what they might be trying to do. So again, that's one of the great things, again, to watch their interviews and watch their post-draft conferences, because they are trying to reason it to the media. Like, listen, we took Dwayne Eskridge. We understand he's 25 years old. He's already an accountant. He's already got his own OnlyFans and whatever. But listen, he's going to be our player for right now until he's aged out of the NFL in 3 years. But I love Dwayne Eskridge, man. He's a very fast guy. Went down to the Senior Bowl, blew it up. Everybody loved him at the Senior Bowl. He reminds me of Terry McLaurin, a guy who's a little bit older, came in with very little notoriety and then blew up the Senior Bowl and went second, third round range. And I think he's going to have that level of effect. You have him, you have DK Metcalf, you got Tyler Lockett. That's speed for days, man. That's Need for Speed Most Wanted right there. And you don't have to worry about if he can play outside or in the slot, because I think he can. When he was playing at Western Michigan, if you watch the CMU game, the Central Michigan game, they play a lot of press man coverage with actual proper coaching for jams, which is, press man is when you're up against the line of scrimmage. Jamming is the actual technique for when you go ahead and you'll see teams do press man in college, but you won't see them do the actual techniques that they'll just be up against the line of scrimmage. You could see that with Georgia, with Eric Stokes and Tyson Campbell. If you watch their game film, they were playing press man, but they really weren't jamming a lot at the line of scrimmage, whereas Surtain and JC Horn, guys who went in the top half of the first round,
punch you in the mouth.
Oh, dude, JC Horn plays corner like he has something against wide receivers. And keep in mind, his dad was a wide receiver. So I don't know, man. Maybe there's some family issues going on there, but he just definitely was yo, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this. That's why I liked what the Carolina Panthers did. I think they had a great draft too. They just went ahead and started hoarding guys. They were yo, we're going to trade down. We're going to get tons of picks. I'm getting a scam call now. I don't know why. I think that's actually the Panthers trying to get me not to punch up their draft because they want to do this again next year.
Hey, don't tell people what we're doing.
I mean, it's not a secret. You could watch their draft and you go, wait a second, they had a very good draft. Again,
2 years in a row, I'd say.
Yeah, well, and I think part of it was I think this is why Marty Herney was fired, right? Because there was a lot of debate about him not wanting to trade down from their pick in the top 10. This is why he was fired and kicked out the building. They got John Federer formerly of the Seahawks organization. So he's very used to trading down. They were like, wait, you trade down? We want you. Come in and we'll figure this all out together. You're formerly the Seahawks.
Your ways.
Teach us how to negotiate, how to trade down, because we had Marty Herney, and before him we had Gettleman. They never trade down.
Oh God.
So now they got Federer in. He's like, you know what? We're going to trade down a lot. And they got J.C. Horn, Terrence Marshall. Those 2 first picks were great. They got extra picks when they traded down because they started at like the top of the second round, and they got an extra third rounder from the Bears who traded up to get Tevin Jenkins. Loved him. Loved his film. It's weird because I think they're switching him to left tackle after they cut Charles Leno. And that just happened today too. He's going to get phone calls at the wazoo from the Broncos, from the Colts, from other Colts out there. If he doesn't land in the NFL, I'm sure the Nixium sex cult up in Albany will be giving him a call too. Now that they're all, now that the documentary's out there, like, we need a new leader. Come, Charles Leno. So I think that'll be, he'll be high on people's lists to call for left tackle help. But again, like Tevin, it clears out $9 million for them. I just think it's very risky. You have a rookie quarterback. You also have Andy Dalton, not plays like a rookie quarterback some days. Like, he's good if everything if everything is good around Andy Dalton, he's fine. The problem is not everything stays good, and when you get rid of your tackles, and they got rid of 2 of them, Bobby Massey as well, who's a right tackle, who's hanging out there as well in free agency. There's a lot of offensive linemen who got kicked to the curb because, again, this is a very deep tackle draft class. So I think that's a risky move. But again, if they're saying, like, you know what, we think we're okay with Tevin Jenkins playing left tackle, Jermaine Ifedi plays right tackle, we'll be fine with that. I feel nervous with that. I feel like they should at least address another tackle, maybe in free agency, Dennis Kelly or a buddy from before, formerly of the Titans. We're calling back now. We're just calling all the back to the guys we talked about like 15 minutes ago. It's like, wow, this is all cycles through. And then again,
just to be clear, if Andy Dalton's your quarterback, things are not okay. Like you said, if Andy Dalton's good, if everything around you is also good. If Andy Dalton's your quarterback, things are not good usually. Like, just follow the path of Andy. There's usually not good scenarios.
No, like, he needs everything to be right around him for him to be even a decent quarterback. Like, and he's like, he is a high end backup, low end starter. He's that he's in that 20s range, right? As players that come into the NFL. Justin Fields, on the other hand, man, like, Justin Fields could be anything. He could even be Andy Dalton. So I think there's some value to him. I think he's better than Andy Dalton.
Those good Ohio State quarterbacks, you never know.
Well, here's the thing. The only Ohio State quarterback to be taken in that first round, though, is like what? Dwayne Haskins, and like, okay, but he was a head case. He got benched after his best game this year. So that was the Ravens game. I actually thought he played pretty well in that. And it was weird. And then they were like, well, we're done with you, Dwayne. Like, you played against your hardest competition, and we're now putting you on the bench, and we're now going to play Allen, this guy, Ryan Allen, Kyle Allen, who's going to now be our starting quarterback, who we I think took. Like, he was a UDFA. We traded a 5th rounder to get him over here. He knows the system. We basically used you to sacrifice you to the Wolves, and now we're going ahead and playing our boy. And then he gets hurt after 2 games, and they play Alex Smith, and apparently Alex Smith was the best guy there. And then Dwayne Haskins goes to a strip club. And then everybody's like, he went to the strip club. I can't believe it. It's like, so what? Like, I get it. It was COVID. He should have been wearing a mask at the strip club. But, like, let's be real. Like, they are all doing it. He just got called. Who was taking the pictures of the guy is my real question. Who's sitting there in the strip club going like, that's Dwayne Haskins. We better take pictures of this. So
that's always my problem, is if I even went to a place, like, just anywhere, grocery store, movie, anything in general. And pretty much 90% of the NFL players, if they walked past me, I would not know who they are. That's my problem. Like, if I was sitting at the strip club with Dwayne Haskins, I would not know that was Dwayne Haskins probably. So I'm pretty shocked someone even recognized him.
Yeah, he's not like a very recognizable guy. It's not like I was sitting there. Like, even if I was a Washington fan, I wouldn't turn around and be like, "Oh, that's Dwayne Haskins." Like,
I have to approach him and be like, "You know who you look like."
Not even like, I think it was like maybe Geno Smith. Like, a lot of the New York guys seem to have like recognizable faces. Like Odell, you'd probably remember because he was on the commercials though. Like Eli has Eli Manning face. Like, that's just it. Like,
you cannot tell me if you were at the mall and Daniel Jones walked past you, you'd be like, "That's Daniel Jones." Never in a million years.
No, I wouldn't, because he could easily be one of the 50 million people who were at that mall. Like, like, that guy looks kind of familiar.
He's a little extra taller than some of the others, but other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, like the only one, Baker Mayfield, I'd probably recognize.
Maybe.
Like Odell. Okay, again, it's the guys who are in commercials. Russell Wilson. Like, those are the ones you will remember. Like, RG3, maybe? But RG3 hasn't been in a commercial in like 5 to 10 years. So maybe, like, if I'm walking by him. But if I was, like, sitting in a sauna with the guy, like, I might be like, wait, you're RG3. I'm sitting in a sauna with RG3? What's going on here?
Some of his hairs might be turning gray at this point. I'm not sure.
I mean, I saw him on an interview about the Kirk Cousins thing with Kellen Mond, and I'm like, why are you commenting? Because you guys were on the same team like 5 years ago or something, and he has a career, and you were basically a backup for Lamar Jackson, who's the better version of you. Like, why are you commenting on anything? Like, move on, man. Like, I get it.
How he got that gig
to just suddenly like
approach RG3 of all people that you could get on your talk show and be like, you know who I'm thinking? RG3 might have something to say about this.
Well, because people go ahead and they look for the drama. So they went ahead and they looked at him. They go, what's the drama here? And they went, RG3 used to play football with Kirk Cousins. Let's get him on the line.
It's like minimal drama, though.
Yeah, like Kirk Cousins doesn't care what RG3 thinks, because you know what? Kirk Cousins has like
does.
$80-90 million because he played better than RG3. Like, that was literally the point. He played better than RG3. He got a contract. RG3, if you played better, you could get that contract. I'm sorry I'm slandering RG3. I actually don't dislike RG3. I just thought it was weird. He's going on talk shows talking about like, no, Kirk Cousins don't like that shit. And it's like, okay, like they drafted Kellen Mond at 66 overall. I don't know. They got him a left tackle, a good right guard, and Wyatt Davis. I actually thought they were going to go edge rusher sooner in this draft class, but I think they were looking at Kwity Paye in that range where they traded down to. And again, the Colts took them, I think, 2 spots before their spot when they traded down with the Jets. So I think they just said, you know what? We couldn't get Kwity Paye. We don't like the other edge rushers here. We'll go ahead. We'll take Darisaw. He could be our left tackle of the future. We'll keep Ezra Cleveland at guard. And then they end up drafting another guard later on. I think Minnesota handled this draft very well. Again, and then they took other guys that, like, I didn't like any of the edge rushers. I'm trying to think what I know they took the guy out of Pitt who I was not a fan of. And then the other guy out of Pitt just got arrested. So Rashad Weaver. So
didn't go well. Rough start to the NFL career.
Just stop drafting guys from Pitt, basically. That's what we learned. Janarius Robinson, I like. That was the 4th round guy they took that I kind of dig out of Florida State. Because the guys at Florida State, they were not given a route to succeed this year. So, other than Asante Samuel Jr., who I loved, everybody else, like this year, from Florida State just took a step back. Like whether it was Hamza Naziruddin, who went very late compared to where I thought he was going to go, to the Jets. He was coming off an injury, didn't get the test at his pro day. But he was at the Senior Bowl, so he did get a little bit of like FaceTime with teams, and he did show pretty well covering tight ends. So I think teams were interested in him as kind of like a Jaquiski Tartt kind of guy. So listen, he goes to a team that the head coach there used to have Jaquiski Tartt as his safety, so it works out perfectly for him. But if you look, like Marvin Wilson fell out of the entire draft. Now he's a UDFA. He's going to the Browns. And he got like a fully guaranteed deal. He got a better deal as a UDFA as like a 7th or a 6th rounder. He's like, dude, thank God I went undrafted. Now apparently
once the 6th round started, he's probably like he turned his phone off. Hopefully I don't get a call.
Right? Like, please don't call me. Please don't call. And then his agent negotiates a fully guaranteed deal. Good on her, man. Like, that was a good move. I dig it. That was a smart, like, again, getting a good agent. There's always a value to that in the NFL. Even if like you're talking about the rookie contract, there are aspects to the rookie contract and the rookie way. Like, even yes, you don't have the money aspects, but there are parts of those terms that you can negotiate and fight over. And, especially when you talk about things like, for instance, when do guarantees get voided? If you get traded, if you get cut, if you sign with another team, there's things to still negotiate in those deals. So very good on his agent getting him a fully guaranteed deal. Mm-hmm. And I honestly think he might be one of those few UDFAs that like is going to just flourish right away. I think because and now he's also coming off, I think he had a couple of knee injuries. I know there's talk about he had 2 knee issues. So again, like as a UDFA, it's not a huge risk. But I did, again, a guy who I actually kind of liked a little bit. If they took him anytime on day 3, I would have been happy. They got him as a UDFA, great. We were talking about before. I think I've jumped through 3 different teams already. I think we were talking about the Panthers at one point, the Seahawks. I want to talk about one player on the Seahawks, and then we jumped to. I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about the Panthers now.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. Whether you want to talk about Trey Norwood and Stone Forsythe. I like both. Stone Forsythe they could have taken in like round 4 or round 3, and I would have been happy about him.
That's what I was saying. I wasn't even paying attention to the draft that much, but when I saw that their 6th round pick was coming up, and I saw that they picked Stone, my first reaction was, he's still on the board?
Yeah,
dude, I had no idea.
6'6" tackle from the SEC. Again, they're going to have, if he doesn't start right away, he gets to learn from Dwayne Brown. Maybe he gets to be the eventual replacement there. They even said, like, listen, he's going to be great in pass protection. We want to get him a little bit worked better into the run game. He's still very, we still think he'd be good at it, but he's got to be better at, leveraging his body. At 6'6" is very hard, right? You're a big ass dude. Very good mover, though. So again, when you have a guy like that, at minimum, I think it's going to be, he's a guy who they could utilize very well. I liked all 3 of their picks. I said it was the easiest draft to cover because they literally had 3 picks, and it was just like, I could do this in like, yeah, right, one of the easiest ones review. Yeah. But I liked their draft a lot. I was talking before about the Panthers. Again, they took Terrence Marshall, who had a knee injury, but he's going back to his old offensive coordinator from college, the passing game coordinator with Joe Brady. I think that's a great fit for Panthers. I love their entire draft all the way into day 3 because, like, you look at it, they got Brady Christensen, who I liked. I think round 3 was the perfect spot to take Brady Christensen. He could play guard. They probably will kick him into guard, but they didn't take a tackle, so maybe they like him at tackle. He did play left tackle at BYU. Actually blocked for our buddy Zach Wilson, who went number 2 overall for the Jets. So, but he never really dealt with high competition. His highest competition was the guy from Houston who went in the 1st round, Peyton Turner. Who, again, the Saints had a weird draft, but I don't know if I necessarily disagree with everything they did. May the 4th be with you as well. Aloha. And I don't know why aloha was my response to May the 4th be with you.
Brand new father there, Stan. Brand new father here.
Oh, nice.
Love my bud.
But yeah, Christensen, Tommy Tremble was, I think, an underrated draft pick as well. I think Carolina Panthers knocked it out of the park. Even you go further down, people love Davion Nixon, Deontay Brown, again, Alabama guard, big dude, Deontay Brown. I wanted the Jets to draft Ben Cleveland and Deontay Brown so they could have like the heaviest offensive line in the NFL when you add them up to Mekhi Becton. And just get that giant, there's like 3 giant dudes. They're just ginormous wall. It's all, you have to go through them at that point.
And then Zach also needs to see over him, though, too. That might become the issue.
Well, he's 6'2". He's not the shortest quarterback ever. He's like the same height as Deshaun Watson. So it's not bad. He's actually kind of scrawny-ish. That's kind of, his build is what I always had the issue with, especially because the way he played at BYU, he invited contact sometimes when he would run. Keep in mind, the guys he's running into at BYU are not the biggest dudes either. So if he does that in the
NFL caliber big.
Yeah, no, he's gonna get wrecked, and then you're gonna be like, well, there goes Zach Wilson's shoulder again. So he's got to learn how to handle that issue. I think he can. I think you could coach that a little bit out of him. As long as he's not running into dudes like thinking he's Josh Allen, I think he will be okay. And again, I think I think there was a perfectly good argument for him to go 2 overall. I think the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft class were all really good. So it was kind of like, it was weird that there was so much animosity and debate because people were like walking into the year with Justin Fields 2 overall. And then like they got used to the idea of Zach Wilson going 2, and like, fine, Justin Fields 3 overall. And then there was like the rumor that Mac Jones was going to go 3 overall for like 2 months. And then everybody lost their minds on both ends.
That was me.
Everybody lost their minds.
Man, I really thought Mac was going to be a 49er. That's what I thought. I even convinced Durf. Change it. But his other pick was Justin Fields though too. So
yeah.
Oh,
I had them. You're wrong.
I had them at Trey Lance. That was my mock draft pick for 2 weeks up until the end. I was, and I noticed that with when the news leaked that he was seeing John Beck and he had switched QB coaches in the offseason. Because like, keep in mind, Justin Fields was also using John Beck, but that's because of his connection with the QB collective. So it wasn't like he was told to go use John Beck. Shanahan asked Trey Lance to use John Beck as his QB coach, and he switched from Quincy Avery. I'm sorry. So he switched from Quincy Avery as his QB coach, and I'm like, well, that's a signal right there. No, you don't usually switch your QB coach that you're like training with and practicing with at the behest of a coach who's not drafting you. So I was like, that's my dude. I know what's going on here. And sure enough, by the time we got to draft week, everybody's like, "Oh, I think it's Trey Lance." And I luckily got in at plus 300 on that one. That was the same. I got a little bit of money on that. I was like, "Oh, I don't usually gamble," but that was like sometimes there's just automatic wins there. You're just like, "Oh, well, I gotta put money on this, even if I lose. Like, I'm just gonna kick myself if I didn't." Dude, I had Baker Mayfield at plus 4,000. I could have. I was kicking myself. I'm like, I got to remember this in the future. That like, because like there was a point where Baker Mayfield was plus 4,000 to go number 1 overall. This was back in 2018. And I was like, I know the Browns like him. John Dorsey kind of like hinted at it in his first presser. And I was like, I should have went for that when it was back at plus 4,000. He ends up going number 1 overall.
But you got to expect the Browns to mess that kind of thing up, though.
Yeah, but I think some people thought Baker Mayfield was messing it up. So I don't know. Maybe that was just a counterintuitive thing. I'm like, what? No way. And then it's like he ends up being like...
They're going to mess up the mess up.
Yeah. So listen, but again, here was the same thing. I finally learned learn how to gamble. Put money on it when you have that inclination that, oh, wait a second, this guy could absolutely be the number 3 overall guy. You have that information out there. And I was shocked that sports books didn't key in on that, but bettors didn't key in on it either, which I thought was very weird. So yeah, I thought the Trey Lance pick was good. I actually I like that idea of him as the quarterback there. I just thought the whole arguments that were going on for 3 months were hilarious. And I initially didn't even think of Trey Lance going there. And then like, again, the last 2 to 3 weeks, it kind of started percolating and you heard those rumors out there. So, again, very, very fun draft. I feel like there was a lot of a lot of great opinions on it over the course of the year. It was such a great year for the draft. I think it was such a diverse opinion on all the players that when you got to the end, everybody kind of had like a like solid kind of like there's only like 2 or 3 drafts I thought that were really like out there.
Yeah, I thought especially just the first round. That's usually when I can get through in one night. Like I don't really pay too much attention outside of that, but it was a very exciting first round. All the trades and the Bears did well, the Eagles did well. It was a lot of fun.
No, again, it was a very fun. You're right. The first night was just crazy with the Bears trading up, and night 1 was great, and then day 2 was fun too. I think there was a lot of good players that got stolen on day 2. So, I don't know if you had any questions to wrap it up or anything like that, or.
No, I mean that's unless Durf, what do you got over there? I mean, we got what did you get right for your mock draft? Do you want to throw it up? Do you want to share it, or do you just want to share your fraction?
I will tell you that I got a whopping 5 out of 32 right.
Okay,
wow.
So
Mel Kiper got 4. So
Kiper got 4. So
yeah, so there was a lot of them where I got the position right, just the wrong player. And then obviously, when Dallas trades back, and then as soon as I saw them trade back, I know they're going for Micah Parsons, but I didn't have them mock draft to him, so that happened. But yeah, whopping. So I did the percentage. It's like 15.6% of the first round I got right. So I'll take it.
No, again,
I got 0 right because I didn't do a mock draft. So
you got to be in it to win it. I got
exactly.
10.
What about your mock? Did you have a mock draft? How many did you get?
I got 10. I did it. It's on my Instagram page, and I posted it the day of. And the ones that I got were weird ones because it was like Joe Tryon going to the Bucks. I thought was the one that I was like, I don't know why. I think there had to be somebody who I heard that was a Bucks coverage person who who said Joe Tryon to them, and I went, clearly it's going to be Joe Tryon. So there's a couple of Bucks people that I follow. Greg Newsome to the Browns. I kind of knew if he was going to be there, they would take him. And there was a lot of talk that Greg Newsome was not going in the top 15 or 20 in this draft. So I knew the second he made it to 25, was it 25, 26,
26. Yeah.
The second he made it to 26, he'd be going to the Browns.
That was a good value pick. That was great.
Oh, I loved it, man. As a Browns fan, I love it. I love that they got him and Owusu Koromoa, Anthony Schwartz. Dude, that guy's got speed for days. So I listen. I was a big fan of the Browns draft all the way through. Demetric Felton, their 6th round pick. I loved him from the Senior Bowl, wide receiver / running back, catch out of the backfield, can line up in the slot. Reminds me of Duke Johnson when he came out. Tommy Toki out of the Ohio State University. I think everything that the Browns did this year, I really liked it. I like Schwartz. I know some people were like, well, it's a little high to take him, but dude, you're getting a guy with 4.22 speed. I mean, McCall Hardman went a whole round earlier a couple of years ago. So you're getting a guy with that level of speed. You're going to be utilizing him in different ways. They needed a man beater on their team. So
yeah,
I already could see how that wide receiving room is breaking out. I think that was a great pick. And again, overall, they spent so much picks on defense. I loved it, like 100%. And then Zaven Collins. Anytime you hear anything about Arizona has like the most leaks in the world. Like for a place that's in the middle of the desert, they've got a ton of leaks. So
they're just bored. So they're like doing it on purpose. They're like, just tell these people that we need to get some coverage.
We're going Zaven Collins, linebacker at 16 overall. And I was like, really? Okay. And like, it was all over the place. Anytime you hear anything with Arizona, they are, like I said, like Kyler Murray going number 1 overall. People knew that from like before the combine. Last year with them taking Isaiah Simmons, like everybody knew they were taking Isaiah Simmons. This year, Zaven Collins is the big one. So again, Arizona, as long as Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury are there, everybody's going to know what's going on. Now, granted, they might not be there very long because I think this is like a make or break year for Kingsbury and Keim. And then maybe they move on. They find a new, head coach, offensive coordinator, head coach GM combo, which I think would be a very smart move on their end. Or not. I don't know. Kingsbury could be better. I just
the longer that franchise is in disarray is good by me as a Seahawks fan. It's already a tough division. I don't need any more tough competition. They can go away anytime.
Well, this is why I'm happy that like everybody in the AFC North basically screwed up all their O-line picks, basically. Like the Ravens signed Alejandro Villanueva, but he hasn't been that good the last couple of years. They trade away Orlando Brown, who was actually one of their better offensive linemen who fit their scheme very well. Mm-hmm. Ronnie Stanley's injured. They did draft Ben Cleveland, who I'm a big fan of, and again, giant dude, and I think he fits their scheme very well. And they signed Kevin Zeitler, which hurt my heart very much. I don't know what the Giants are doing, but getting rid of him was not the way you fix things. But okay, go ahead, Giants, do what you're doing. You're going to damage your quarterback even further. But again, like as long as, and then the Steelers, I think had maybe like one of the, that was the team I thought had one of the worst drafts. So, and again, because they, not that like, listen, running back's not a fun and good position, but it's a position of, I think, luxury. Like if you're in the back of the first round and you want to take a running back, I get it if you have a good offensive line. The Steelers haven't had a good offensive line since like Mike Munchak left. And they keep on losing guys to retirement. Mike Pouncey, year before that, Ramon Foster, Filer left in free agency. Now they have Chukuma Okafor playing right tackle, who's not played well for right tackle. They're just constantly losing pieces. And Doxson played well for them last year at guard, but again, as you continue to lose these guys, it's not helping you.
All right. And then any last questions there, Dur? Anything because we're killing the draft for like another 365 days. Because that's kind of how we roll around here.
I don't only cover the draft. I cover all football, but that's otherwise I'd be bored.
Big time of year for you though.
Yeah, I do love it. I do enjoy it. It's one of like the top 3 times. I also do fantasy as well. So that's the other big thing. That's what's going to start next week is I'll work on the fantasy rankings and do the tape for those guys and start doing all that shit. So, and again, and then when football season comes around, it's great anyway. So no matter what, I'm always busy with football. It's never not like a
football never ends, man.
Dude, it doesn't. I don't know what happened. I remember a few years.
It
was a big mistake me getting into the draft process because I used to have all the free time in the world, and then like even as like a person just like kind of cohesively like it's an addiction. It's like it's like crack cocaine, but like with watching giant men play with each other on the field with a weird ball.
Yeah, except it doesn't kill you. Yeah.
Well, it might kill the people on the field.
Yeah. Well, that's their problem though.
That's true.
All right. Yeah. So, we appreciate you coming on and giving us a more in-depth draft look than we could have ever provided our listeners.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's a great show. I was really happy to get to pop on here. I'm just knock my headphones off as I'm thanking you. I'm like, oh wait, now I can't hear them. What if they say something like totally ridiculous? Like, well, what's your favorite? And I'm like, I can't hear them anymore. Dude, thanks again for having me on. I really appreciate it. I always like popping onto people's shows and like just like going ahead and being like, all right, let's go ahead and riff for a good 15-20 minutes on whatever they want to talk about. It's always fun, especially with football. I'm on a bunch of shows. Again, Draft Vice. I'm on Face Off of Facemeyer with Brenda Facemeyer, which again that's a weekly show at 6 to 7. Which you guys are welcome to come on. It's a call-in show. She loves booking, especially this time of year. We do a lot of interviews with people about like sports fandoms and stuff like that. So I'm sure she'd be happy to have you guys on. And again, she's one of my favorite people. She's pimped me out to a whole bunch of people to be guesting on their shows. She's like, I don't want to show up, but this guy will pop on your show and he will hijack it, and you will be like, we need to do 15 minutes. It's an hour and a half later. Why hasn't he shut up yet? I've spoken for 3 seconds on this show. What's going on? Why did we bring him on? I did this. I went on a Browns show that like is on the Browns Huddle podcast. This guy's got a bunch of viewers. I think and I went on, and he's usually like an hour-long show. We recorded 2.5 hours straight, and I didn't stop talking. I think he spoke for literally 3 minutes the whole time. All about the one team. This is the Browns. It ain't even like I sat there. I was talking about like every team in the NFL. We literally spent 2.5 hours, and then I wasn't even talking about the 15 to 20 minutes beforehand, and then the other half hour to 45 minutes afterwards. I was talking with him on. He's like, "Oh, you don't shut the fuck up, do you? I want to have you
that's
back."
Probably like at least 10 minutes per player on the team. Then if we do the math.
Oh, dude. Well, it was like a right around free agency draft time. So again,
Also
it was
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're talking about a wide swath of people. I went on. I was actually on 2 Brown-centric shows. I went way past the time on them, but they were just like, "Well, we enjoyed having you on. It was great. I didn't have to talk, so that's good on you." So I took
the night off. I just sit back here and
it's only it was literally what people do. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna put him on the show. I don't have to speak for the next 3 hours. It's great. Brendan wants.
I'm gonna go get something to drink. You just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll just have you do. I call it the Kevin Smithing of everything. Like just like he goes on a show and he hijacks. He did that like on Colbert once, where he was literally on for, I think Colbert asked him one question. He spent 25 minutes talking about whatever the hell Kevin Smith likes to talk about, because he's Kevin Smith, one of my favorite people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Also, big Star Wars dude. Like literally, what brought fandom into like the movie verse of like all the I don't know. I love Kevin Smith and I love Star Wars, and I guess he was like one of those first guys to turn like fan stuff into like pop culture into like mainstream. So one of my favorite dudes. Thanks for having me on. Again, I keep on rambling. This is what I kept going, and it was like, we're trying to get out of here. We got things to do. It was great to have you on, but Walter, you got your own show you could go do this on. You can go talk to yourself for 30 minutes if you really want. It's like, well, but I like talking to people. I like having I like being on other people's shows and hacking them. That's what it is. Sorry.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to have you back on around the fantasy time, like you said, and then we'll talk more offline too to get some stuff set up, because it was a lot of fun. So
yes, it was great. I wanted to talk more about the Terry Bradshaw stuff. Like you guys were talking about something. Like I want to say something.
He's just sitting over there. He's like, "Let me on.
Let me at him. Let me at him. Hold me back. Let me at him. Let me at him." Like I just do the Bradshaw thing. I was like, that made me livid too. That whole thing with the Bradshaw thing and
grumpy old man.
Oh yeah, grumpy old man, and then oh my god, and not only that, but like he's like the biggest hypocrite. Like, why was he saying that when Brett Favre was like doing his weird whiny thing, or is he just like, I only like doing it to the really young guys? It's like, I don't know, man. Bradshaw, I don't care anything about. He also doesn't talk to the Steelers anymore. Like he's like literally the guy who's like literally famous for not talking to his team anymore because he was upset with them for something, And the Rodgers thing, I think it's getting blown way out of proportion. We won't know until the thing happens. So, it's something to talk about. It's very fun to sit there and be like, what if Aaron Rodgers wasn't on the Packers? Especially if you're like a Chicago Bears fan who just got the rookie quarterback and you're like, oh, we might have a shot. Well, this is very fun. Yes, Aaron, please request a trade to the Las Vegas Raiders. And then also like the Las Vegas Raiders like, yes, please let us get Aaron Rodgers. So
everyone's chomping at the bit for a little bit of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Denver's like, see, good thing we didn't take a quarterback in the first round, guys. You guys thought we were being stupid by running with Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater over here. Guess what? We're going to get Aaron Rodgers, and we just got all these weapons for him and a defense. And now everybody's like, well, this is great. The Packers fans are like, I can't believe we let this happen. Don't we own the team? Don't the team own the team? With
the owners of the team let this happen. Can't believe it.
How did we do this? This is so bad as a fandom and I can't do this anymore as a Packers fan. We had literally two generations of quarterback of like greatness, and now it's like, and I think they got like 2 Super Bowls out of it. It's kind of weird, very weird thing. And that's half the argument is that he wants to just go to another Super Bowl. I just want to get to this point. I'm playing this well. Get me to a Super Bowl. And they're like, all right, Mike Pettin, don't cover the wide receiver. Don't run any kind of cover 4. Don't do anything good on defense. We made, by the way, that was a big thing of the Packers signing LaFleur, is they made him take Mike Pettin, which is kind of a horrible thing to do to somebody. Like, you have to take Mike Pettin with you. It's like, God damn it, that bald weirdo. It's like, at least he's not the head coach anymore. Shanahan was happy about that.
Well, yeah.
And I just offend all the bald people. I'm sorry, I love bald people. We all are.
I
bald
can't
is
guarantee
beautiful.
that anybody in the world will be alive Sunday.
Oh, is that the wrong Shanahan?
Dude, that was one of my favorite quotes to come on this draft cycle. I can't guarantee everybody's going to be alive on Sunday. What does Kyle Shanahan know? Schefter, get me that report.
It's that Chinese rocket ship falling out of the sky. That's what it is.
Dude, I don't know what it is, man, but he's like, I can't win it with play action here. So you guys, we're all going to die anyway. That's how really Kyle Shanahan's just an alien coming along with Elon Musk. That's how it goes. That's how he's able to. That's how he's winning football games. He's just like, I'm going to have the aliens calculate how to do play action the perfect way, and that's how he's just constantly winning with guys that are only Jimmy Garoppolo and Matt Ryan. And when he has to put in the Nick Mullins guy, it's like, this is not as good. You're not as good as a magician as we thought you were.
Well, we hope that you stay alive by Sunday. And
it is past the Sunday that he said, but we don't know what he did not specify.
He didn't specify a Sunday, so
true.
We gotta keep your eye out for every Sunday. So I hope you stay alive and stay healthy, and we'll see you around next time.
Absolutely. Thanks again for having me on. And you're welcome to come on my show, Draft Vice. You're welcome to come on Face Off of Face Mar. I'll pimp her show out. And I'm also working with Let's Talk Sports as well, which is Dan David Harris's show. That's a great, he has a whole network of people that he's working with as well. So we'll talk offline. Thank you for having me on. You guys are great. Very entertaining show. And it was just a great opportunity to be here. Now, I'm sure you will be like, we never want this guy on here again. Don't ever have him on here again.
Never.
Thanks again, you guys.
Until next time, man.
Until next time.
And that next time will be actually next Thursday for us. I didn't forget. You thought I'd forget.
Hey, I'm here just to make sure.
See, he's the brains. I told him at the beginning of the show, remind me that we say Thursday, but we're good. So next Thursday is going to be the show. We're going to do an NFL schedule release show.
Yeah, buddy.
Going to be a very fun time. And then we're actually going to be taking some time off, but the more details on that to come next week, just so everyone's aware. It's going to be next Thursday and then some time off.
Yep.
So be prepared to fill your Tuesdays with something else.
Only for a little bit of time.
Only for a little while.
Not forever. Just a little bit of time.
A little bit of time. So pending.
I can't guarantee that anybody in the world will be alive Sunday.
The fact that we're all alive by this coming Sunday, we will be back next week because
Mama didn't raise no wussies.